stitchy friends. I'm Christy. I'm the Crosshatch Quilter. I am so excited to be back here talking to you today. It is Monday, October 30th, and there is frost on the pumpkin here today. It was 17 degrees Fahrenheit when we woke up this morning. Where has the year gone? It has just flown by, and I just have kept trying to get back here earlier to meet with you to do some show and tell. But that has been the story of my life this last year. So I'm going to try to get back more often. But I hope that this video finds you well and that you've been stitching and creating all the things, and I hope everyone feels welcome. I have quite a bit to share with you today because it's been so long. I've got a frame back, a fully framed piece back from the framer. I have some fully finishes, some starts, some WIPS, and some quilting this time. So let's get started. I hope I can remember how to make these videos. The first piece that I have to share with you today is a framed piece that I got back from Craft Center of Fine Stitchery in Salt Lake. And I was so excited to get this back to put up for the holiday season. This is Bounty Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. And I just picked this like barnwood type frame to, highlight the barn, and I like how it looks nice and rustic. I thought that complemented it well. I stitched this on 36 count Stars Hollow blend with by R&R linens and with all the called for threads. And I stitched this last year. I started it in the summer and finished it last fall. Love, love, love it. I love decorating for this season. It's my very favorite. I'm just always sad when it's over because then there's 6 months of winter. But we gotta enjoy the fall while it's still here. I'm trying to squeeze out every last bit. So then my next finish was a start last time. And I finished both pieces, started and finished both pieces. It's Honey Bee Hill by Blackbird Designs. And I've been trying to make some bee pieces to create a collage, either in the family room during the season, or I just keep it on a shelf in my sewing room when it's out of season. But this is the first finish. It's called Her Majesty. And I just barely finished this into a pillow yesterday, so I haven't put a lot of trims on it yet. I didn't have the right color trim, so I've ordered a few things to see what works, and we'll be jazzing that up a little bit next time. But I love how that turned out. I think it's just so pretty. And it was a fun stitch. It's stitched on 30 count linen, so it's 2 threads over 2. And I used all the called for threads on that one. So then I finished the Honeybee Hill, what is it called? It is called Honeybee Hill. Imagine that. Anyway, I finished that into a Lone Elm box. And it was my first time finishing one of these. I need to take some steam and hopefully maybe get out some of these wrinkles. But love how that turned out. I stitched this on 36 count. The called for is 30 count, so it's a little bit smaller. So there's a little bit more room around the edges, but that is totally fine. And when it's being displayed, actually I'll insert a picture here of my bee display so far. I'm hoping to stitch a whole bunch more pieces for it. My friend Cindy, she came and visited me last month, or actually this month, October, and she brought me this bee happy pillow that she had made. This is a pattern from Under the Wool and Willow, but my friend Cindy made them. She also brought me an acorn pillow. Isn't that cute? So I was excited to have more stuff to put with my my bee collection. So I'm really happy with how that turned out, and I was excited to get it fully finished so I can put that on display. And then my next finish, I started this last year. This is I Love Fall Most of All. This is by With Thy Needle and Thread. And again, I'm finding I've ordered some bling for it, so I haven't put any, you know, I haven't jazzed up the pillow yet, but I've just finished it into a pillow. And I stitched this on, I believe, a 36 count American Chestnut by R&R Linens. And then there's the back. Just some nice chick fabric on there. So I'm excited to get that displayed with my fall stuff. And I definitely love fall most of all. And as I was wrapping up my summer stitching, I really tried hard to finish everything that I had going so that I could start a whole bunch of fall things. I just was starting to get the itch for fall stitching. So I really pushed hard to get everything finished. The next one that I finished was Flag Flock. This is by Plum Street Samplers. And last time, I'll insert a picture where I was last time, I still had the fruit and the eagle to stitch on the, you know, the tops of the sheep, to fill all that in and to stitch the flag. So I got all that finished. This was a really fun stitch. I stitched this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha with all of the called for threads. So that was really fun, and I'm looking forward to stitching its companion piece next summer. So then my next summer piece that I finished was Every Opening Flower by Brenda Gervais. And oh, I loved stitching this. I started this with Lori in February, and then I'd set it down for quite a long time to finish up Mary Bars. But this summer I got a finish on it. And I just absolutely, this is one of my very, very favorite pieces. It's just so beautiful and elegant, just a classic design. So I stitched this on the called for linen, which is 36 count Winter's Brew with all of the called for threads. And I'm excited to get this one off to the framer. I can't wait to get this up on my wall. And it will always remind me of stitching it with Lori because of the bee on there and just the memories. It's always fun to stitch with friends, and it seems to be the way things are going lately, which is awesome. And then I have two finishes that I actually don't have here to show you. I was so excited to get them to the framer that I was amiss and didn't take very good pictures. But I'll insert one picture here while I was at the framer picking out frames. And that is It's Spring Fever by Blackbird Designs. And then I started and finished All the Hills Echo by Blackbird. So I'm looking forward to getting those back from the framer so I can put them up in my bedroom. And I'm going to stitch the other 7 in this series as well, but I'll at least have a good start for my bedroom wall. So that's really fun. So as we approach the end of the year, I probably am exactly like you in the fact that I get really excited to organize again, revisit my schedule, go over what works, what doesn't work, and just kind of tighten up things so that I can make the most of my time. And I'll start a stitching schedule and then I'll get off track. But what has been working for me lately that I've really been enjoying is sticking to a stitching schedule. And I don't know if it's because in this crazy world and all the things that are going on, it's kind of comforting to me. I think that's a big part of it. I really look forward to each day knowing what I'm going to work on and a routine and a habit. So the first day that I start with is Sunday. I have a Sabbath stitch that I work on, and that is His Eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. And I hadn't been working on this for a good part of this year, but about 3 or 4 weeks ago I picked it back up, and I've been working on this every Sunday since. And it's just like a good old friend to just, you know, meet with every Sunday and stitch some peace and prayers right in there. I have been working on this along with my friend Christine, who is Hollow Sounds Creates. She started it along with me, and I've finished Consider the Lilies, so now this is the one that I am working towards. So here is my progress. I'll actually insert a picture here of where I was last time. And the first thing that I did when I picked up this piece last time is I had seen Lori work on her piece for Consider the Lilies and how she would do a mirror image and stitch both sides at the same time. And I really liked that idea. I think that it just works for my brain to do that. And it makes sense to me that you would go faster because you've just stitched the one, you know, the one motif on this side, so you're going to kind of know the pattern of it on the other side. So the first thing I did is I wanted to put in this tree so that I can start just doing that when I get down here to the bottom. Stitch a motif, stitch it on the other side as well. So I put in the tree, and this tree wasn't bad. The tree in Consider the Lilies gave me a lot more grief, but this one went pretty smoothly. And so then I moved back up here, and I've put in some tulips. I put in a horse, some birds, some stars, and some birds over here on this side, and some flowers. So I'm working towards finishing the top. I'll go ahead and get the top done first, and then I will move down and do the same thing. But since I had started, you know, the motifs on this side, I'm going to just do mirror images, and then I'll fill in what I haven't done on top. And then as I work on the bottom, that's what I will do, is do the same mirror image motif. So I've really been liking that. And again, the motifs are just another part of that comfort stitching. It just seems like it's a good old friend. So then on Fridays, I stitch on Hawk Run hollows. I know I skip from Sunday to Fridays, but it's just the order of the linens that I have them in right now. But on every Friday, I've really been enjoying stitching on Hawk Run Hollow. And I think that Becky, Your Socks for Mom, is the one that started that tradition, and I just picked up on it. In the past, I've done it and then I would stop doing it, but recently I've been doing it faithfully every Friday, and again, just really enjoying that consistency and routine. So I got a finish on a block for Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow, and I started this, I think 2 summers ago. This has been a restart. I had started it and given up on it, and then restarted it again on 36 count Weeks Dye Works thread with a thread conversion from Shepherd's Bush, and I've gotten that idea from Lori. So the up here I haven't worked on, but I skipped down to the 5th block and finished this pig block. I've been calling him Wilbur as I've been stitching him. And I just love that so much. These blocks take a long time to finish. I always think, I'm going to whip that out, but it took me still a couple days to get a finish on that from where I was last time on my progress. But what I'm going to do is just keep plugging away at it. It's going to be a long-term project. I seem to like long-term projects. Again, I think it's a comfort thing. I just like having, in this fast-paced world, having this big project just is comforting. I can't seem to stitch the small ones very much. I need to throw some of those quick finishes in to get some satisfaction. So then I started Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, I believe in 2019. And I hadn't picked it up for quite a few years because I go back and forth on what to do on it. It's one of those pieces that I'm taking out some of the blocks, and just, the thought of changing things, trying to figure it out, is what has stalled me. I don't stitch a lot of Halloween, so that's another reason why I don't work on it as much as I should. But I am going to remove this ocean block, this swamp block, and this bell tower block. And I am stitching this with all the call for DMCs, and they are very lovely. They're such a fun, yummy color palette. Every time I pull these threads out, I'm just like, oh, love them. And I'm stitching this one on 36 count Legacy by Picture This Plus. And here is my progress. So the last time I had worked on it, I had a half a moon, a half a witch, a half a broom, and half houses. Like everything was just half stitched. So I went ahead and finished that block. And I had stitched my witch with the called for gray hair, and it didn't really show up on this linen very well. So I stitched over the gray threads with a red. We like redheads here at my house, so I have a redheaded daughter. And I love how that turned out. She's a super cute witch with her red hair. So, and then I need to get back to this block and finish it. But then I decided I wanted to start putting in the extra blocks to replace the blocks that I am removing. So down here is the October block from a year at Hawk Run Hollow. It's this chart right here. So I just threw in that block, and I've been calling her Witch Hazel. So I wanted the witches to be across the piece. So I've got all 4 witches now. I still need to finish this block up, but there's the 4 witches of Hawk Run Hollow there. And then the blocks from Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow I took out. I'm not going to stitch them on Autumn. I wanted them to just be in Halloween, and so there's where the redheaded witch is from. And then this graveyard is going to go in this space. Is that clear as mud? I hope I explained that correctly. And then I'm just going to move around some of the other blocks. I might add a few details to certain things, but as of right now, that is my plan. And I think I'm happy with the plans now, and I'll just probably not work on this one anymore this year. I'll probably pick it back up next summer every Friday and throw some stitches into it. But I was happy to get the progress that I got this year on that. I made it its own bag. This Halloween bag is some old hoarded fabric that I have that's called Witch Hazel by Riley Blake. So I really super love them. So I went well with the piece. When Lori and I get together for a visit, we always like to start a few cross stitches or work on existing cross stitches together. It just adds to the memories, and it's just a fun thing to stitch along with friends. Those pieces always seem to be my very favorite and always have great memories attached to them. So I saw her for a week in the summertime, and we started 2 pieces together. The first one is Little Deeds by the Scarlet House, and I have loved this ever since it came out. I don't have a very big start on mine. I believe that Lori has finished hers. She finished it while she was up here visiting me. But here is my start, and I'm stitching this on 36 count Confederate gray, or gray by Weeks. I mean, they changed the name, and there is my start. I'm using all of the called for threads. There's only a few threads in this piece, and they look great on that linen. I just love that. So that's my first start. I need to get back to it. I love it. I just, with all the fall stitching, I haven't gotten back to it yet, but I will. And then in the summer, we started this together as well. And this is Be Happy, Humble, and Kind by Brenda Gervais. And I love this piece so much. We changed a lot of the threads and the linen. I believe she has a different linen that she's stitching hers on than what I am. She helped me pick a linen while we were going through our stash. Or my stash while she was here visiting. But here is my start. And this is on 36 count Beach Brew by R&R Linens. And I'm excited to get this finished. I will be putting it up on my bedroom wall, so it definitely needs to get some love. It might not get love till spring, but it'll definitely be a priority in the springtime. So there's those two fun starts. While Lori was here in the summer visiting me at my house, she brought a punch needle project for us to do, and I had never punch needled before, and it was so much fun. It was a lot easier than I originally thought it was going to be, but Lori brought me all the supplies and taught me how to punch needle while she was here, and this is her design. She is releasing punch needle designs, and you use her chunky thread to make them, and isn't that so adorable? It was so fun to make. I absolutely love it. And I did mine in fall colors because I wanted to put this up with my fall decor. I thought it looked like a sunflower. She did it in completely different colors, and it looks more springtime and summer, and they both are adorable. I look forward to making more punch needle. That was really fun. And she finished this up for me on this fun board, and I really appreciated her doing that for me. It is so cute. I love how that turned out. So that has been fun to add to my fall displays as well. And then while we were up camping in September, we had two more starts, and just enjoyed each other's company. It was so much fun to see the fall leaves up on the mountain, and we had yummy Dutch oven dinners, and it was just a great time. The first start that we did up there was Autumn at Not Forgotten Farm. This was a gift by Lori, and I've seen this before and I've always wanted to stitch it. It's called Turkey Trot, and isn't that darling? So this is being stitched on a piece of Decrepit, 36 count Decrepit by Number 12 Stitch Company, I believe. And there is my humble start. So I really plan on working on this in the month of November because of the turkeys, and hoping to get that finished in the month of November. So that one's a really fun one. It will always remind me of Lori. And then we also started Pumpkin Season by Exemplars from the Heart. And I have seen this for several years. I think Carol Saltbox Stitcher has shown it and started it, and I've always wanted it. And then I believe last fall I found the chart to purchase, so I bought me one, and then this spring, as we were planning our camping trips, I purchased another one for Lori. And these are harder to find, but they are still available. I do know that Olivia B has them in her Hillside Workery Etsy shop, and it is just such a fun chart. I just love those pumpkins. It's not going to get finished this year. It's a big project, but we started this one with all the called for threads, which are NPI silks. There's not too many of them there. They're just so yummy. And I started mine on the left side, like I always do, top left. And there is my progress so far. Okay, so in the summertime, I wanted to start a couple big samplers in honor of my mom. It was her birthday in August, and then it was her 30th anniversary of her passing in August as well. So I have a couple starts for that, and I knew that I wanted to start them then to always remember when I, worked on them. As you know, I like to stitch things with memories attached. It just makes them even that much more special for me. So the first one that I started, and I've wanted to stitch this for a really long time, but it speaks to my heart. It has sentimental value, and that is Autumn Dream And this is by Cottage Garden. And I love the piece itself. I love that whimsical pumpkin and the bird. And I love that it says dream on there. So I'm stitching this with all of the called for threads. And I just have a small start, but I definitely wanted to get it started in August. And I'm stitching this on the called for linen, which I believe is Sanguine by WIPS Dye Works, 36 count. So I kind of wormed my way down so I could get down to the pumpkin. So right now I'm working on the bird. So I'm hoping to get some more progress done on that this fall, but I don't think it'll be a finish this year, but I definitely wanted to get it started. These are all probably longer term projects. I like the big ones. And then for the anniversary of her death, I started Remember Me, which is by Teresa Kogut. And I purchased this chart when it came out in her Patreon, and I've wanted to stitch it ever since then. But I've always had a snag up with starting it. And then as you know, the 30th anniversary was approaching, I'm like, I really need to figure out what I want to do on this one. So I decided to change the colors up. And I'm still working on the color conversion, but here is the color palette that I have decided to go with. So there are two pinks in here, a darker pink and a lighter pink. And what I've done is I've added a couple blues in lieu of those pinks. And I've added 3 colors. And I've added Fathom by WIPS Dye Works, which is the darkest blue, and then Deep Sea by WIPS, and Dolphin by WIPS. But I think that, then I also took out a brown. It was the warmest brown that was in there. I'll have to look it up for next time. But here is my start and my progress on that. And I love the way it's turned out. So I'm going to, this is the color palette for my bedroom. So I'm gonna put it in there when it's done. And this is being stitched on 36 count Platinum by Zweigart. And this is my first time stitching on this color. I love it. It will not be the last. It's just such a great neutral. Love, love, love those neutral colors, and just with the blues. It's just soft and speaks to my heart. I really have been enjoying stitching stuff for my bedroom. And what I do is I pick a piece. I have several started for my bedroom, and I just pick one of those and I stitch that on Saturdays. So Fridays are Hawk Run, Saturdays is a piece for my bedroom, and then Sundays is His Eyes on the Sparrow. And then Monday through Thursday, I pick a focus piece, whether that be an assignment that I am stitching along with friends, or just something else. But so that changes weekly, Monday through Thursday, my assignment. But it is the focus piece for those particular days. And then if I finish that, then I just pick up my next assignment or project. So then in September was my birthday. And I've always wanted to stitch these, but I received the silks for my birthday, so I knew that I wanted to start it for my birthday. And that is Frederica by Carriage House Samplings. And I have a couple sweet friends stitching this with me. I just have absolutely loved starting this, working on it. I've wanted to stitch it ever since I saw Carol Saltbox start hers last year, Frederick. So this is Frederica. My friend Cecilia, who is Vintage Cecilia on Instagram, and my friend Lily has been working on this with me. And Cecilia made us all a bag all 3 of us that were stitching it together. Absolutely love this. This is Fig Tree Fabrics. And then she made a cute little tag so we know what's in there. I absolutely love this bag. Thank you so much. And we've been sharing our progress with each other. It's been fun chatting and just having friends support friends. So this is my start and my progress. I kind of feel like she looks like she's in her teenage awkward years right now. But my goal next time I pick her up will be to fill in the bird. And there's still a lot of stitching on this one to go, but I plan on working on this one in November as well. It's just very fallish to me. So hopefully, I don't know if I'll have a finish on that this year, but definitely some more progress put in. So then I have quite a few more, I still have more starts to share with you. I have gone wild and crazy lately with my stitching. The beginning of the year I was working on samplers and focusing on them, and I just kind of got burnt out. And then as I've decided what I want to have up in my home, like I said, I wanted to start all the fall things, but also other projects as well. So the first one that I started is out of this book, Winds of Autumn. And I've stitched quite a few projects out of this book. There's just so many good projects in here. But the one that I started was A Sister's Love. And of course, I'm stitching this one for my bedroom as well. So I just will alternate this one between this and Remember Me on Saturdays. And I'm stitching it with the called for threads except the blue. And the blue I changed to Deep Sea because I felt like the called for blue was a little bit on the purple side for my color palette, and that was blue jeans. So I replaced blue jeans with Deep Sea. Those are really pretty. And here is my progress on that one. This one I'm stitching on 36 count straw. So it's the called for linen. And I've really enjoyed starting that. Look forward to getting back to it. I love every single one of my WIPs, so I just can't wait to get them all done. So as you can see, I've been just starting a whole bunch of new fall pieces, and I would start stuff and then talk to friends, and we would talk about more things we want to start, and it was just a domino effect of girls gone wild. So I still have more starts to share with you. Most of these are with a group of friends that we stitch together, we make assignments and take bites out of a project a little bit each month, and it just seems more doable. I've really enjoyed that process. The first piece that we started together is also out of the Winds of Autumn book. And the group that I'm talking about is Yvette, my friend Yvette off of Instagram. She's Yvette Go, and Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Christine, Hollis Hands Creates, Becky Socks for Mom, and then we have a few projects that we're stitching also with Carol Crago and Carol Soapbox. So we have just been having so much fun starting all of the things. The first one that we started together is the first Winds of Autumn, and I just have always wanted to stitch this piece. It just never has gotten done, but I've always wanted to stitch it, so it felt like the perfect time and excuse to start it with all of the girls. And I'm stitching with all the called for threads, which I do not see right now, but here is my tiny start on that. I'm stitching it with all the called for threads on 36 count Vintage Buttercream by Lakeside Linens. That is so pretty. It's going to be a fun stitch. I've debated taking the date out on the roof. It's not going to be done in 2023, I doubt, but Olivia left hers off of the roof, and so did Yvette, and I like the way that that looks. So I don't know, I might take that out. We'll have to see. But I'm having so much fun, and I'm so glad that they let me start all the things with them. And hopefully we'll have a finish for next fall. And then the next piece that we all started together is The Dwelling Place. and this is by Teresa Kogut. The minute I saw this, I knew I wanted it up in my house. Absolutely, just Teresa's designs are so great, aren't they? She's so talented. So I found a piece of the called for linen, which is, I'm going to grab that really quick. It is called Dunes at Dusk, and this is 40 count linen by LFA Linens. And we are doing this as assignments. So we've broken it up into, I believe, 24 blocks or 20. And we'll stitch a section, an assigned section a month. I don't believe that Olivia is stitching this one. So in our group, we have several pieces that we've started together, but you know, we are not all, we just pick and choose which ones. So not all of us are, for a lack of better explaining, we all just pick the ones that we want to stitch and stitch along with the group. But I'm using all of the called for threads, and here is my progress so far. This linen is a total joy to stitch on. It's just a great linen. So that one is going to be a fun, it'll be done in 20 months. A section a month. And I really like that. In the past, sometimes I haven't liked assignments because I feel like, well, I don't want to stitch that right now. I want to stitch what I want to stitch on. But as of lately, I just have really found it comforting, the routine and I don't know, we'll see if I stick with it, but for now, that is the plan. And this one is Hands Across the Sea, Elizabeth Furness. And this one is me, Olivia, and Yvette stitching on this one together. And Becky. And I have worked so hard to catch up because I'd fallen behind on the grass. And I will insert a picture here of where I was last time. But I believe I'm pretty close to caught up. I've got a little bit more grass to come over to here. So just a few segments. My hold up right here is I still need to do the over one sheep, but I'm pretty close. I think we're at about right here. So then I've just been picking one color and doing each section, and then picking another color and doing that grass section to get me caught up on everything. And so since the last time you've seen it, I've stitched some flower pieces, some flower pots, more border flowers, this squirrel, and a whole lot of grass. So we're getting there. We're close. It's just a few months away. I've really enjoyed stitching this with those girls. I'm stitching mine with the Aversois Silk, Swaddle J. This is 36 count baby sheep by Extrude Designs. And so, like I said, we've started a whole bunch of projects recently together. It's so fun. We've had a blast doing it. And this next piece, I wasn't going to start with them, but I had gotten the silks for my birthday, and we hadn't even talked about this piece at that time yet. But I just gotten the silks for my birthday for, you know, a future project. But as they got talking that they were going to start it for Becky's birthday, I just could not resist starting it with them, because, and what I'm talking about is the shores of Hawk Hollow. Two reasons. I had started this years ago and didn't like the DMC colors for it, so I just set it aside and knew I'd restart it one day. But after seeing Yvette and Becky's and Olivia's start and progress on Houses of Hawk Hollow, every month I have FOMO. I am so mad that I didn't mad. I really am mad that I didn't start it with them back in January, because it's just one of my very favorite pieces of all time, and I would have had, you know, 3 blocks of progress by now if I had just done the assignments. So I decided that I needed to do it with them for shores, And it's just, you know, they break it up into 4 blocks or 4 segments for each block. It's very doable. And so here is my start and my progress on Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. I'm stitching it with the NPI Silks on 36 count Vintage Autumn Gold by Lakeside Linens. And I absolutely love it on this linen. One of my very favorite linens. It's just, everything seems to look great on it. So that is my crazy, my crazy decision. I know I have got like 3 Hawk Run Hollows going. I'll focus on the 2 for the main part of the year. I'll get my assignment done each month on Shores, and then every other Friday I will work on Autumn. And then probably next summer I'll pick up Halloween and, you know, work on that for a couple months. So for right now, I'm just having a blast. And this is the bag I've put it in. This is a fig tree bag I made for it. Thought that looked very summer and very coastally. I think that's their Catalina line by Fig Tree. I have some Happy Mail, some plans, and some quilting to share with you. So with the turn of the season, I have always enjoyed sewing in the fall. It amps up, the cold weather amps up the time I get to spin inside, but I just also love quilting for seasonal and the holidays. So I have been creating quite a storm up in my sewing room. And the first thing that I worked on and finished was pumpkin patched blocks. And this is a quilt by Lori Holt out of her Scrappiness is Happiness book. And she also has a YouTube video showing how to make the blocks. So I made mine out of reproduction oranges and cheddars. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you the whole entire quilt here, but at the end of the video I'll insert pictures of all my quilting. But I'll just start at the top and then stand up and go down. That is a big size quilt. I'm actually going to add one more border to it so that I can put it on my bed. Because if I add another border, then it will be a king size. So it's just massive. They were really fun and easy to put together. It is a very relaxing project. So just more of the same down there. But I absolutely love this project. My daughter and I went up in the mountains and took pictures of this quilt. We had a lot of fun. I called it our field trip because she does homeschool. So that is pumpkin patched, and I'm really looking forward to getting that quilted and put on my bed for next fall. So that is my finish. And then my WIP that I've been working on for a few years is Autumn Love, and this is also by Lori Holt of Being My Bonnet. And this is an applique and pieced quilt project. I started a few years ago, and I have finally got all the blocks put together, and I just am appliquing them now on my machine. And once that's done, I will have to do the embroidery on them, and then I can put the quilt together. I am so excited. I have loved this quilt ever since it came out. It's one of my very favorites. It's been a joy to work on. It's also been a challenge, and this block in particular was quite something. That bias, you know, the curves on the bias vine was a little bit challenging, but I did it, and I was really proud that I got it done. I haven't done a lot of applique. I've done a few applique quilts. I don't feel like it's my strong suit, but I've been really pleased with the way that these turned out. So what I do is when I machine quilt them, I get a color and I do all the blocks with that one color. So like say the yellow, I'll be doing the yellow next, and I just pick up each block, and I do the yellow on that, and then I switch. So it's been so fun to look outside the window and see the fall leaves while working on this project. You know, sewing and stitching always take longer than what you think they're going to, right? Like you plan on a time frame and then it's like twice the amount of time. That's how I have felt with this project, that it's taken me a little bit longer, but I'm happy with the results, and that is well worth the extra time. And then this is the main house block in the middle. So this is a pieced block and an applique block. Love those squirrels on the bottom. So fun. I'm really excited to get that. Like I said, I have to applique all the blocks, and then I need to do some embroidery on them, and then I'll size them down and put it together. So I hopefully we'll have that as a finish to show you next time. And then I started a project with, it's a quilt along with Fat Quarter Shop and Lori Holt, and that is the Quilted Witch. You can find this pattern at the Fat Quarter Shop. She also has a cross stitch for this and a needle minder for the cross stitch. Here's the needle minder. So cute. I've been using this all fall. It is so cute and fun. But here are my blocks for, I'm making the quilt. And I am using my old and hoarded witch hazel fabric from Riley Blake. So this is the first week's block. They release the, well, I mean, it's all released. You have the pattern, but they're doing it every 2 weeks, a block or a section. So this was the first, and then this next coming week is the second week, and this is the second block. So I'll show you the blocks that are on the chart here. So this was the first one I just showed you, and then this is, or did I do that? Oh, that's right. So then this is the second block. So I just envisioned her with the black background flying in the sky, and I love this so much. Lori has the best patterns. They're so easy to follow, and the detail on them is amazing, but it's super easy to follow. A beginner, I feel like a beginner could do her pattern just because they're so, you know, she has clear instructions and her methods are simple and easy to follow. So that is my quilting. I hope to have more progress to show you on the Quilted Witch next time, and a finish on Autumn Love. And then some of my plans that I have, I'm going to start 2 more stitching projects with my wild crazy friends that we just can't get enough starts and assign projects. And the first one we're going to start is on Halloween, and this is a restart for me. I started several years ago with Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow, and I just wasn't happy with the way it was looking on my linen and the thread choices that I had decided to use. So I've really been wanting to restart Autumn on Lazy Bear Mountain by Kathy Barrick. And we started talking about it as a group, and I just, you know, I told them I really wanted to restart mine. I'm not happy. I want to just do it with the NPI threads this time. And that exact like week that we were talking about it, Olivia B with Hillside Rookery, she had released threads for it in her Etsy shop. And so I went ahead and ordered the NPIs. I took that as a sign that I needed to do that. Let me show you how Olivia sends her stuff. It's so cute. Well, she sends a cute little postcard and a note too. And then she puts everything in this darling bag. And it had a tag on it saying what the project was for, Autumn on Lazy Bear. And then there's all the yummy silks. So this is the linen that I've chose to stitch it on, and that is Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit. I think that those threads just look so good on that linen. And I've I've put it up to several different linens, but I think that that's the winner so far, Hog Bristle, unless I change my mind tomorrow when I sit down to stitch it. But we're going to start that on Halloween, and I believe that Carol Saltbox is joining us, and we're just going to have assignments and see how it goes. But it's right now we have it broken up into, I believe, 24 sections, so it'll take us about 2 years to stitch this one. But I'm looking forward to getting that started. It's one of my very favorite pieces, and I was sad when I abandoned my last project, but I just wasn't happy with it. And then same story. This next one is in my patriotic bag, and I have started this twice now. I started this with Yvette and Olivia several years ago when it first came out, and I didn't enjoy stitching it with the way it was looking on the linen that I chose. And so then I restarted it on a different linen, and same story. I just wasn't happy. So another one I had just given up on. I just find that with this big of a project, if I'm not liking the way it's looking, then I don't continue because it's a little much. How else do I describe that? I'm not going to enjoy it on my wall, so why would I put all that time? So I think that we are all excited to restart this. It's one of my favorite pieces, and after seeing Lori's finish in the summertime, I was just like, oh, I really need to get back to that. So I believe that we're going to start this one on Veterans Day or restart it. Third time's the charm, hopefully, on that one. So I'm really excited, and I think that with my assignments from all of my friends, hopefully it'll keep me going. I've been bad about plans in the past. I'll tell you plans, and then that's the last thing I want to do. So we'll see how it goes, but right now I'm pretty pumped and energized about it. And then I have some Happy Mail, and I've also been going through plans for the year. Like I mentioned earlier, redoing my stitching schedule has just really given me more passion about stitching, and I was kind of not feeling that for a while. So this is something that I'm really excited about, and this is the stitching planner that I have for next year. This is by Lori Holt, and you can find these folders out there. There's also going to be 2-inch ones released in December. This one's a 3-inch one. But her new planners are so awesome and so big. But it comes with, the actual calendar, and then you can purchase a separate section for quilting, for stitching, for yarn, for crochet, and they're just absolutely, I don't know how much I should show, but I have been planning all the things. Like there's a stitching section that you can purchase, and it's all 8.5 by 11, so it fits in your binder, and I like that. I like the big pages because I tend to fill them up, but they're really fun. And then they show you can add detail. You can put all your WIPS there. I don't know, I might have to have several pages for my WIPS. And then just each project is itemized. So there's lots of details on there, from Flosstube to, your stitch count and your floss and threads that you're using, the pattern name, design. So a lot of details, and so you don't, forget or get lost in your projects. So I'm really excited to itemize all my WIPs and get that all figured out. And then I received some Happy Mail from the Fat Quarter Shop that I wanted to share with you. The first one is Stitch Cards by Lori, and these are so cute. This is Stitch Cards Set R. And then she came out with some floss drops that are absolutely adorable, little pumpkins. And a thread bling. It's a candy star. This goes along with the Quilted Witch, but I'm going to put it on another fall stitch. And Percy, which is in the Chicken Club. So cute. And then there's these ornaments from the Fat Quarter Shop, and I think these are absolutely darling. I say this every time I show these, but I really want to stitch these. I think they would be absolutely adorable on a seasonal tree. And all these things can be purchased at Fat Quarter Shop. The Quilted Witch Cross Stitch. So, so cute. And then these are by, it's So Emma. It is Happy Fall, Spooky, and the September Stackable. So, so cute. And then I've really been enjoying these bags. I've seen a lot of people stitch on them, and Shepherd's Bush has designed actual patterns to stitch on these. I've also seen people use other patterns, but these are absolutely adorable. These are really cute for fall and Halloween time. I'd really like to stitch something on one of these one day. And that is everything, I think. I hope that you guys are still with me. I don't know how long this video is because I've had to break it up into chunks, but I'm really looking forward to November. I love November stitching. I don't know how much progress I'll get because I'm going to have family here visiting for a week. So I'll probably lose about a week of stitching, but hopefully I'll be back here at the end of November to share with you the progress that I've made on my WIPS and starts, and just enjoying the fall and seasonal stitching. I know a lot of people are moving on to Christmas stitching right now. I'm sure that I'll have some Christmas stitching to show you by the end of November as well. So I just get super jazzed and energized this time of year for all things crafting. So I hope that you have a great Halloween and a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.